Okay, I'm JK Dragon Breath. Or that's my Minecraft name. But I'm the producer of today's podcast. 5-26-2026. I don't know if I just said that right, but we're turning over to the next guy.
Hey, my name is Bryce, and I'm going to be the secretary of today's show.
My name's Brody. I will be a commentator of this show today.
Sorry about their little quietness, cause this is their a second time, but the first time has not been posted because they don't want it posted. Um, what if you guys spam post in the comments? I'll post it.
Don't do that, Ashley. Don't spam post. Please don't do that. Okay, so let's start today's podcast. I'm going to be asking the first question today. Guys, I have a question for you, Brody. Brody, if you was, what, explain the difference between probabilities and possibilities. Never mind. Jeremiah, I want you to explain the reason behind science, if you believe in science. Or, actually, Jeremiah, Brody, when I ask you a question, you gotta answer it. Okay, Jeremiah, I have you a question.
Okay.
Say, I want you to explain the difference between possibilities and probabilities.
Okay. The difference between probabilities and possibilities is that probability uses a percent. Possibilities is like if it'll happen or not.
Okay, I agree with that. So there, so think about this. Go back to the Roman Empire, right? If the Romans were to invade the Mongols, would they have what percent chance would they have?
Okay. Don't mind about Yes, please repeat the question.
Go back to the Roman Empire. So if the Roman Empire would wanted to invade the Mongols, what would be the descent rate of the Romans seceding?
Um, the success rate would probably be 25% because the sheer mass and power of the Mongols and the terror they created on the places they conquered. And so some places automatically submit into the Mongols because the Mongols would go right in there, burn towns down. They're very skilled on horseback. And yeah.
Jeremiah, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do actually. So, do you think that do you think that hold up. If the world was going all out war against each other, which country would win? In solos, not allies, no allies.
Okay, solos. So you said without no allies, right? Okay, that's what you said. So, my opinion, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's just my opinion. I think the United States would be ahead if solo, but if it was economically, it would be China and Japan. And if it was nuclear power, it would be Russia.
Okay, what did you say again?
I said that if repeat the question. You said something about if all the wars were to go to in war, who would win solely?
Yes.
Got it. So, my opinion, I think that United States will be ahead power wise. Will win power wise. I think that economically, I think that China and Russia would be. close there, but I think China and Japan would be there, and more nuclear power. Russia has that.
Okay. Um. So I say that the U.S. would win on all-out war because the U.S. has barely used any of its resources, and it is almost the only country that can self-sustain itself. Russia would be fighting China and some major other powers in Asia. Same with China, North Korea, India. Um. So yeah.
So, what is your thoughts about the USA and Iran war?
My thoughts about that is I say it's um good that we're trying to open up that port again because if they have control over that port, basically the world can't really get any oil except for going through the Iranian port, which yeah and so yeah.
All right, I'm gonna respond to that. Right. So, this war could have been prevented if the United States didn't get involved anyway, because it was originally Israel and Iran war. But the reason why Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz was because USA attacked the nuclear bases because the United States wanted power and they didn't want any other country, well, especially Iran, to have a nuclear base or any nuclear weapons. So therefore, this war could have been invaded, or it could have been like not even happening if the United States just let Israel and Iran fight.
Yeah, but then Israel is our ally. Um so Iran if Iran gets nuclear power, we won't know if they're secretly creating nuclear weapons which could devastate the world. So yeah.
All right, so if that's the case, so since if you're using allies in this, it'd be fair if Russia and China was to help Iran, right?
Okay, repeat what you just said.
I said since if you want to go back to allies, right? So if that's the case, if Russia slash China was to help Iran in the actual war and actually use weapons, how would you react to that?
Okay. If Iran was to use nuclear weapons, the U.S. could probably already devastate it.
So if United, since Israel is the United States ally, right? So if that's the case, Iran can use China or Russia to supply them weapons, which they're already doing supplementary already. And plus, but if since the United States got in wars because Israel is our ally, can't Iran just call in one of their nation ally buddies, more like referring to China and Russia?
No, because in total, NATO would be all of Russia's allies together.
So we, we're gonna switch today's topic. We can switch it now. All right. So if we have a commentator coming in, his name is Brody. Congratulate him. Say hey.
Hello, guys.
All right, Brody. I have a question for you today. If atomic particles were found, what would you think people would use them for?
Nuclear weapons.
So you think people will use atomic particles to create nukes? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so I have another question. In order for nukes to be created, what do you think? What do you think is the certain amount of stuff for a nuke to be created, anyways? Like what type of stuff goes into it to create a nuke?
Um, let's see. I think you have to put the if you put the what that machine thing called. Well, the United States will try to make.
Okay, so you're just confused right now. So so what you're saying is, if you, how do you think nukes are made, Brody? How you think nukes are made?
I think they are made by uh, um iron and certain of powder to make it trigger. I got a little bitty thing inside the nuke that shoots at the potassium or aluminum.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, they do.
I'm passing the mic right to JK, JK Dragon, whatever you want to call him. I'm gonna pass the mic to him and see what his thoughts about Brody's explanation.
I do not believe that because uranium would definitely be used, or enriched uranium. Um, with the enriched uranium, which would cause radiation and other stuff. But I actually have a better plan of a nuclear bomb. Using the plutonium core or the devil's core, however you want to call it. Um, the the science experiment went wrong when I think it was like two lead plates went around the core and radiation went everywhere. And so if we made like a little thing that shattered on impact and put the two lead pieces together, it would create a giant nuclear bomb that would last forever until somebody tore those two pieces apart or disintegrated. Oh, I'm passing it over to Bryce. I can't remember.
All right, I'm the secretary. If people forgot, so I disagree with what Brody said. Go back to what Brody said. He said that nukes have potassium in there. That's not true. They have plutonium and they have aluminum and they have a whole bunch and trinium and they have a whole bunch of uranium and stuff like that. And go back to what Jemiah said. I agree with Jemiah says because what he said is based off of facts, not opinion. So I'm going to ask a question to you, Brody. If so, Brody, what are the chances of a nuclear war right now?
The world would turn into.
Oh my god, he said, "What are the chances?"
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what are the chances of nuclear war happening right now?
Between what?
Between Iran and United States.
United States as an I progenies to beat Iran because Iran do have no nukes because the United States killed, bombed, nuked, bombed or nuked their nuclear civ, bombed their nuclear facility. What that thing called?
That is correct. The United States fighter jets did nuke. I mean, not nuke, bomb nuclear facilities in Iran or in that area. So, do you think United States using a nuke is needed?
No, no, why? No, because we can use them nukes for other I countries, not a poor Iran country.
Technically, you're wrong about you, you're technically wrong about that because Iran does hold our oil supply, especially the Middle East area. So therefore, they're actually rich in that, and without them, we wouldn't have oil supply because we the one gets it from them.
We will have oil from different kind of states and countries.
States have nothing to do with it. They're called imports, Brody.
Okay, anyways.
Anyways, it's crazy.
We still have to say stuff.
Okay,
Yo, is anybody gonna ask me a question?
JK, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree with Brody's statement of that United States and Iran does not hold an oil thing together?
Um, I agree with Birdie that they do not hold an oil rig together. Because the Iran's currently cutting off oil to the U.S., but you see that we're not running out of oil at all. The prices are just going up because it's getting harder to get. But we still are getting oil from Texas, and we're not getting oil from Alaska, or we're getting a little bit of oil from Alaska. And we're getting a little bit of oil from Alaska through ships because the pipeline through Canada was not finished. And back to Bryce, the secondary,
Secondary.
secondary, the secondary person, yeah, the secondary low person.
All right. Anyways, you wanna don't listen to him. That's not true. So, JK, do you have any questions you want like to ask me?
Yes, I do. Um, so what would you say about if the U.S. um completely bombed Iran?
My my opinion is that if we completely bomb Iran, Iran will be replaced out of existence, and that answers your question. Now I'm gonna move this back on to Brody. Brody, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, but anyways, with my stupid ass idiot friend. Okay, anyways, I had the statement you said, Bryce.
You have a question for me?
Yes, if Russia and China helps Iran, isn't U.S. cooked?
Economically, yes, but if in order for
I
Ri-
disagree.
Rhina, in order for Russia and China to help, they'll have an actually logical reason to help. But I also disagree. I really don't think that'll happen. I actually agree with Jemiah. He screams in the background like a crazy psycho. Um, I do agree that it's disagreeing. I agree why he disagrees because economically, China can has they used to, but United States are trying to lower their economics by tariffs. So Brody, do you have any other questions for me, or JK? Whoever gets the mic, you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Wow, Birdie, you really said you don't. Okay. So I say that cause if the cause if Russia and China were to get involved, um, it would be technically World War III. Cause then also NATO would be joining. Cause NATO is also talking about how with um how with what do you call it? With hold up. My brain's stuttering and stop laughing, Brody. before I kill you. Um, but currently, like Russian drones are accidentally entering Poland. And so Russia's already aggravating. So Russia's already aggravating the. So yeah, back to you, Bryce.
Okay. I partially agree with Jeremiah. So, Brody.
Yes.
All right. Do you think if there was an alien invasion, do you think the aliens are powerful enough to defeat us?
The whole time it was at the lowest setting.
You just literally
No,
said
no, no,
recording.
no, 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 no. The whole time you were talking, it was at the lowest setting. So do not turn this.
You dumb fucker.
So we just talk for no reason. What you're saying?
No,
It'll still hear us, right?
hearing you just a little bit. Keep talking.
Okay. I had a question for you,
This is the last question.
for Bryce. If giants and aliens and all that real, explain where they're adding at.
First of all, I didn't say they were real. I said I partially agree that they're real, and so now this podcast has got to come to an end. Never mind. Brody wants to ask one more question.
No, I would like for this podcast to end.
I had a question for you, Jemiah. Do you think Indian and cavemen is real?
Indian cavemen. Indian cavemen.
Okay, that didn't make sense. I mean, in the podcast right now. So, I'll see y'all in our next podcast. Bye.
I'm the producer.
He's a producer.
We all part was part of it.
Okay. Well, yeah, yeah. Like he said, we'll see you in the next podcast. Hopefully you subscribe. Please subscribe. I only have 6 right now. So, anyways,
See ya.
on to Brody.
See ya, guys.
See y'all. Have a good day.
Okay, goodbye.